everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's Chit Chatterday, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite makeup items of 2020, things that predominantly are new to me. However, I have some just highly used items that just kind of are my standouts this year, and so I thought we would talk about them in a get ready with me style. I always like to do at least one of these a week to kind of speed you up on what I've been doing personally, because I think that that's kind of at the heart of my channel. My favorite thing is to just sit down and have chats with you. So welcome if you are new, please subscribe, would love to have you here, and let's get into this. So for primer, I've been using this primer all year long. I just am down to one primer right now. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is a really nice primer. It's basically a moisturizer forward type primer. It's not a silicone based primer or a pore filling or anything like that. It just primarily focuses on hydrating the skin, which I've enjoyed a primer that's less makeup focused and a little bit more just making sure your skin is hydrated. Especially in the wintertime, this is a really nice one to have on hand. If it's not something you would probably reach for all the time, it still is nice to have because we all have those moments where our skin is, a little bit drier, especially in the cooler months of the year here. I picked up a new foundation this year. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Foundation. I have it in the shade 4. This is an absolutely beautiful skin-like, lighter coverage foundation. If you want something to give you that dewy, luminous, youthful glow, this is going to be it. I would not say I would gravitate towards this if I wanted more coverage per se. However, when I mix this with my NARS Sheer Glow, I get a really good amount of coverage. I darn near think that looks full coverage. I'm not sure if the Sheer Glow claims to be full coverage, but man, it really does offer a good bit of coverage. I like to mix this foundation with that one just to give it a little bit more of a skin-like finish. But I'm finding out as I'm getting older here that less is more with foundation. I'm more comfortable in my own skin now. I used to be let me zoom you in here. I used to feel a lot more insecure about, blemishes and imperfections and all that sort of thing. Not that I'm 100% at this point, but, it's kind of like you just embrace it. Being on this platform, it's very easy to start to compare yourself with all the other people out there, and at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to be me, and it's okay if I have blemishes showing through. And I'm finding that having a more sheer coverage, or even just a lighter coverage foundation, and then going in heavier that day with your concealer, it just overall looks a lot better than trying to cover everything up with a really full coverage foundation in areas that you don't need full coverage. This is one of those foundations where you can look at yourself out in broad daylight and you're not going to look makeup-y, you're not going to look cakey, you're not going to see, a product sitting on your skin. It really marries into the skin well. I think that's why I really gravitate towards this product kind of all year long, because when I go outside, I don't want to look like I'm wearing makeup. Now, it's a whole different story to sit in front of a camera or to take pictures for Instagram. Like, full coverage looks best. It just photographs best. It looks absolutely flawless. But then you leave this scenario and you go out there to go run your errands and you're like, wow, I have a little bit much going on right now. And I would rather be prepared for the real life scenario than, this. So my thought process, much like last year, this year, is to have 1 or 2 products within each face category so that I have options of foundations for like a lighter coverage day or a more coverage day. The same thing with concealer. So I've been using the Pat McGrath Labs concealer, and this offers really great coverage, I think. The consistency of it is a little more serum-like, which I also enjoy. This under eye area for me is tricky. I'm noticing, especially when I smile, I have, my face scrunches up and there's all these little lines, right? So if I put too much makeup on, it just starts to crease. And then it's apparent you're wearing it, and then it doesn't look so good. So I'm liking this concealer because I think, I'm not modeling this for you very well, but it goes a long way. And I think, quite frankly, geez, that's 3 little dots. I mean, look at all that coverage. Really great coverage. I've also been liking blending things out with a brush these days. I've always, for my concealer, used a beauty blender. But I think that the beauty blender really soaks up product. So if you want that coverage that you're taking out of the tube to stay on your face, maybe blend it out with like a finger or a brush. This is a Real Technique setting brush. It's a nice fluffy one. And then as I spoke about earlier, if you want your foundation to have a little more coverage, then I'll just go in with my concealer and kind of dab. Like I have a brown spot right there. I have a lot of breakouts this week. This week is not, like I tried to film this video earlier this week, but every single day from about mid-morning until I go to bed, I've been getting headaches all day. And so filming has not been able to work out for me. And I wanted to get some things done here before my kids go on their Christmas vacation, because once they're on vacation, it's really, filming's just, it's just not going to work. I'm going to have the best of intentions, but once they go back to school, then I will have, I have, you know, a bunch of roundup videos I want to do for the year and so on and so forth. So hopefully this might be the last video you see in a bit. I don't know for sure, but it very well may be, because they're going to be on break soon. For setting my face and my under eyes, this is a rediscovered favorite. It's the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed. This powder is very invisible on the skin. Now, obviously, as with anything, if you put too much of anything, it's going to be noticeable, right? So less is more. I do the smallest amount. This is the Wayne Goss little airbrush here. I like this for setting because I can really tap the product, but it's just so invisible. It's so lightweight. It doesn't look like powder. I like pressed versions of things, honestly. I have the loose version in the by Terry powder, which I've had for years. I really need to do a declutter video. But I've since gotten rid of all my loose powders, because every time you open them, it's just a mess all over everything, and I just got tired of it. So I like the compact, because then you can also put it in your purse, and if you do that, I say that, but I never bring makeup out with me except for my lips, because, well, obviously this last year wearing a mask, like, you don't even have to do, you know, this part of your face, but I never touch my face up. So I basically just set the T-zone. You just can't go wrong with this powder. For bronzer, this is another rediscovered favorite, but I've always loved this. This is just such a great bronzer. I love the tone of it. The Hourglass bronzer. The shade I have is Luminous Bronze Light. So this particular one I purchased when they first launched these years ago. Now since then, I believe they have added other tones, other colors, not colors, but tones of brown, if you will. I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics. This is a really nice brush. Big old fluffy situation here. I don't know what this is called, but I just love the tone of bronzer that this is. The Hourglass powder products are wonderful. Another product where it's not so visible on the skin. They blend effortlessly. They're buildable. Their blushes are super pigmented, so you don't need to go ham. As you can see, even with this bronzer, like, I can get a really good bronze in no time. Like, the tone of it just really looks like I've been out in the sun. Just really lovely. I kind of want to go overboard. I'm feeling a little bit pasty here today. So you just add a little bit of warmth to the skin. It's just amazing how it livens the face. For my eyebrows, this is an always favorite. I really don't veer off from this anymore. Early on in my days of having my channel and just really having my eyes open to all these different brands of makeup I had never been introduced to before, I was trying other things. But this is the exact color of my eyebrows, so why would I veer off of it? I use the shade Medium Brown. The spoolie on this is unlike any other. It just really, it's rigid enough and it's stiff enough that it pulls the color through. I find that this gives me my most natural looking brow. For my brow situation, obviously we have all different eyebrows. Some people have such good natural brows, all they need to do is maybe like a tinted gel or a little bit of powder or something. My brows are better than where they would be naturally, just because I use the New Brow brow enhancing serum, which really helps keep them fuller. But on their own, I basically have to draw them on. They're very, very thin, and as I'm getting older here, they're disappearing. I don't know where they're going, but they're just not coming back. So this is a newer product to me. I had an eyelash curler, but I almost said my brother. My son came in here and was playing with it and broke it. So I just recently got the Eyeshadow eyelash curler. but I've been using it and I gotta tell you, it's good. Like if you want a true lash curler, like my other one curled my lashes for sure. This is just, it comes at your eye at a different angle, so you're able to get this closer in. Like my other ones, I couldn't get it in as far, and I don't know if it's because of my, my eye shape here or whatever, but this one really does get right at the base of the lashes and curls really well. So I like to curl my lashes before I do eye makeup because I've noticed that otherwise the eyelash curler takes off some of the eyeshadow and eyeliner and all that. And because I'm really messy when I do my makeup, I just find that this just helps me keep the mess at bay. I found there's no reason to have any other eyeshadow primer in your life, so I'm going to go in with the Milani eyeshadow primer for my eyeshadow. It's really dark outside. Well, it's not super dark outside, but it's definitely a cloudy day. And so that's why my background is so dark today. I don't love that that's happening right now, but just bear with me here. For my birthday, my daughter purchased this Charlotte Tilbury quad. This one's called the Queen of Glow. These are just so elegant, like just such really beautiful packaging. I love the tone of this brown. It's got a little bit of like, man, it brings me to mind an eyeshadow I had from Makeup Forever. That was one of my favorites. I decluttered it because it just wasn't blending well. Like I said earlier, a few minutes ago, I need to actually go through my eyeshadow and declutter because as eyeshadows age, this is something I've noticed. They go on okay, maybe not as well as they once did, but they fade throughout the day. And I noticed that I wore the chocolate bar palette from Too Faced the other day, and my matte shades were good, but like the sparkly shades that I put on my lid, the darker ones just kind of disappeared throughout the day. So to me, sorry, my husband's home. To me, that means that I need to probably declutter it because I have obviously replaced and I have newer updated shadows. So I'm going to use just strictly this. If you wanted to do a warm shade in your crease, maybe we'll do that. We'll just stick a little bit of this bronzer in the crease here. I thought for the longest time, and I have palettes that have really, I've kept in my collection despite them being super old just for like nostalgia reasons. But I'm not really a person that's attached to things. So I'm thinking, well, I kept it this long. I don't use them. I could probably get rid of them. Then I go back over to older videos. I'm like, oh, that was a nice palette to have and stuff. But makeup's not one of those things that you can just treasure over time and continue to use it. Like you can still treasure it, right? You can still have it. But after a certain amount of time, you probably shouldn't use it because it could potentially give you a nasty... We don't even want to know. Like, I don't want to be going to the doctor because I put on old makeup on my face, So I'm just going to take that bronzer underneath too. I like a very messy, quick done look. Like, I like when you do your eyes and it's blended, right? But there's not necessarily a fluidity to it per se. Like, you don't see where one shadow starts and another begins. I like it to just kind of create shadows, like define softly and create some nice shadows. And I also like a very blown out looking eye, so I'm just kind of creating all kinds of shadows there with that bronzer. Now I'm going to go in with this color right here. It's a very beautiful color. It's the only matte in this palette. The other ones are shimmers or like satiny shimmers. I mean, they're really well done. It's not Too Faced type shimmers where it's like basically chunky glitter that falls on your face. I can't do that anymore. It's just, I don't like that look on myself. So I touched on the fact that I don't try to keep a lot of one type of product anymore, nor do I try to buy a lot of makeup anymore because I've learned I can't possibly go through it and it just feels really wasteful, like monetarily, but also just to like have it. I realize this is reckless right now. I'm gonna blend all that out. Don't worry. And so I'm also really happy with the things that I do have. And the longer that I've been, having a channel or just wearing makeup in general, there's a handful of looks I really like on myself and I would deem my like go-to looks where I feel my best in. So I really don't need a rainbow of colors in my arsenal because I ain't gonna wear them. And that, holding it on for that someday is so far and few between that it's not worth it to pre-buy all these things for that someday moment. It'd be a lot more economical to just go out and buy a single color for a specific, occasion should that occasion arise. So, you know what I think I'm doing? I think I'm talking myself into decluttering my makeup today. In a way, it's not that I've lost a desire to wear makeup because I still like to put it on and all that. I just don't have that desire to buy it for the sake of buying and reviewing. I was doing it for a while because I was just really, it takes time to really figure out what it is you truly have a passion for. And I think my passion within this channel is this. And so I feel like I'm always trying to find something to talk about so we can just talk, because that's what I like to do. Also, I think that on this platform, it's all relative to your channel. So if you have a large channel and you have a lot of people watching you and you're getting products sent to you, you're making more money, so you have more of the means to invest back into your channel by purchasing things, that makes sense to me. Like someone on the level of Emily Noel, we all love her. She's on a different level, so she can do that and it makes sense. But for me, it just doesn't make sense. It never really has made a lot of sense. I just was trying to tell myself it made sense kind of thing. And at some point, you just have to tell yourself that, you know what? You are not going to be able to keep up with the Joneses, so you need to stop trying. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to go back into that bronzer, actually, and just kind of blend the edges of this darker color out here. Okay, now I'm going to actually take this lightest shade here and just put that all over my lid. So this lightest color kind of looks like it would be just a soft champagne, but it actually has some gold warmth to it. It's like a yellow champagne. It's really pretty. And then I often like to kind of marry the deepest color here with the lightest color by going with something kind of in between. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, flip that same brush over, and just kind of dab over the two colors and soften the transition. So for eyeliner, I've tried for years to be comfortable with liquid eyeliner. I still don't feel amazing at it. I still absolutely struggle, but my go-to, what's easier for me, is just like a pencil. This one is a gel liner from Mally, just a black gel eyeliner here. So I'm gonna line my upper lash line with that and probably my lower. And then I like to smudge things out with a Q-tip just to kind of fix my mistakes. And I like a really smudgy look and not necessarily a thick, drawn on look all the time. I like it to look a little bit more softened and just kind of natural looking. These are really creamy and they glide on very easily. And there's also a little bit of time where you can kind of play with it too, so you don't have to fear that you put it on and it's stuck there forever. I'm going to take some of the darkest brown here, this dark shade, and kind of blend out this lower line here with a shadow. We're going to kind of go off to another place of the face here. These are wonderful. I've loved these for years. This year I've gone back into really committing to using this whenever I do my makeup. They're the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. You can buy, I think you can still get them in a trio like this. I know they have like a Christmas holiday edition palette with some of these powders in there. Of course, you can get them individually. This particular one has dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light. They're just really nice. You want to talk about subtle makeup that really enhances your face, it's these. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the lightest one and I'm going to pop that on my inner tear duct here. And I'm going to put a little bit on my brow bone. I remember Jaclyn Hill teaching me to do this years ago. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my highlighter brush. I'm just going to grab this brush here. It's a Morphe M501. Same incandescent light here. And throw that on my cheekbones. A big old fluffy brush. This is a Sephora Pro Precision Powder number 59. And I'm going to go into dim light and dust that kind of in my T-zone. I'm going to go into this one that has a little bit more warmth, radiant, and dust that on the backs of my cheeks. Now we're back to the eyelashes. So This is a lash primer. This is a really good lash primer. It's the Lancome Sills Booster. This is just a little small size of it, but I like this so much. I've gone without a lash primer for a while just because I rely on the lash curler and then a good mascara. But really, this does help. This kind of elevates the game. It helps keep your lashes curled. It gives them a boost in length and volume. So you're going to want to put this on and let it dry before you go in with your mascara, because if you go straight in with your mascara and this isn't dried, just think about putting two wet products on each other, one after the other. It can get goopy and your lashes will clump together, and that is not the look you want to go for. So while that is drying, let's go in with our blush. So another product I got for my birthday. I'd never tried anything from Patrick Ta, so I have his blush here. This is the one called She's That Girl. It's Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. So when I first put this on, I did cream first and then I did the powder on top. But one of you told me that I'm supposed to do the cream on top. So let's do that. I'm going to go in with my Wayne Goss number 14, I believe this is. Yep. Cheek brush in this beautiful pink color. I like to come at blush at different angles. I like to go this way, but I also like to, swirl up and back, just in case there's any areas that got skipped. And yeah, I do go a little heavy on the blush, but I like it that way. And then I think I'll just take my finger and kind of go in. Oh, that's quite pigmented actually. And just kind of tap over on the cheek. Let's do a little. It's pretty. All right, I got a brand new mascara. So the NARS Climax mascara is what I was going to talk about as my favorite mascara this year. It was on its last leg. It was done. So I just got rid of that one, and I got an Ulta coupon, so I ran and got the Luminous Lash Paradise here from L'Oreal. I would say this is similar to that in a lot of ways. The wand, the formula. Both of these are my favorites. I've repurchased this numerous times. I've repurchased the Climax one as well. So either one of those I would deem my most used and favorite for this year. Last is lips, and with the kind of year that we've had, we're all wearing masks, I would give it to lip balm. Lip balm would take the cake this year. So for lip products this year, I would give it to my Agave lip mask from Bite Beauty that I've been using. But I wanted to put on some lips, obviously, for today. So I'm going to use the newest things that I just purchased, which are still in that category. This is the Lip Glow Color Reviver Balm from Dior. This actually has color to it. It's got a nice pink tint. They have these and other tints as well, but I personally am a huge fan of Dior lip products. I think they're beautiful. I love the packaging. I love the all-in-oneness of a lot of them. Now, I did, put on the cream blush on my lips here, dabbed a little bit of that. I woke up this morning with a busted lip. I don't know what I did last night in my sleep, but my lips were cracking right down the center. So I'd say a balm is exactly what I need today. And then over the top of that, I'm going to put the Lip Maximizer from Dior. Been curious about this for years. So let's give this a go. I've been wearing a lot of matte lips lately, just because when I do like a darker color, I like it to be matte just for the sake of it not transferring all over my face. Oh, these are beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so here's the finished look. With a full face of all my favorites. I was going to put on false lashes, but I'm super happy with this combo and how my lashes look today. But my favorite lashes are the Ardell Double Demi Wispies. Let me just grab a pair here. They're the Demi Wispies, which are a cult favorite. They're, they kind of flare out, give you a slight cat eye look, but not like crazy. But the double ones have extra volume. I feel so beautiful in these. So the Ardell Double Demi Wispies are my favorite lash of this year. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know in the comments, what are your favorite makeup products this year? Perhaps there's some things that we all need to go out and buy. So let me know, and you never know. Sometimes I get a wild hair and want to go out and buy a bunch of makeup, but in all honesty, I really need to spend some time decluttering things that are no longer working. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you have nothing short of a fabulous day, and we'll chat again soon. Bye, guys.